will tell me, no, I just took a glass. Oh, I took a... That is excessive. If you start making a fool of yourself, you take one glass and you go start sleeping around. You take one glass and you start shouting at everyone, giving them a piece of your mind. That is going to bring limitation in your life. Number one, you disobey God. And which parent is going to allow their children to behave that way? Imagine all parents, all of us are telling our children, stay away from alcohol. It's destroying your lungs. It's destroying your liver. Just stay away. The day you touch it, you've disobeyed the command your parents gave you 20 years ago. That is disobedience, limitation. And the Bible says it clearly, my child, obey your parents so that your days can be long. That is already a passive. So we should be very careful. Be very careful what you do. You might think, no, it's okay. But my parents said this when I was young. But now you're disobeying them. This is what the Bible is saying. Do not get drunk with wine. It did not say, do not get drunk with excess wine. Just don't get drunk. So 1 Timothy chapter 3 and verses 15 says, if I delay, you may know how one ought to behave in the household of God, which is the church of the living God, the keys and the virtues of the truth. This is what Timothy was telling you. Know how to behave. You ought to know how to behave in the household of God. And one of the ways is the one that I was speaking about in the evening. Know how to behave in the household of God. Be blameless in the house of God. That if your elder says, my child, don't do that, smoke. Yes, sir, yes, ma'am. Don't do it. But if they keep telling you the same thing, then you're doing something very wrong in the household of God. Here, Timothy was warning the children of God and telling them, know how to behave. Mark chapter 12 and verses 30, he says, and you shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your mind, with all your soul, with all your mind, and all your strength. This is how you behave in the household of God. Love your God. If you say you love God, you're going to obey his word. Some of us say, I love you, and then we go and do the contrary. If you say you love me, and yet I say I hate alcohol, then you go and drink it and come to me, you do not love me. You are playing. I said no to this and you're doing it. Then that is not love. That is selfishness. That is selfishness. If we're saying we love the Lord, then we should obey his word. We should obey his precepts, his statutes. We should obey whatever he says to us. We need to obey, otherwise disobedience. Imagine you tell your boyfriend, you know what? I don't like alcohol, it smells so bad.